Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's YOBOI 3 and welcome to Boss Rush Island 2. Today we're going to be starting off with Sauda as our hero on Strong with a tech bot. The tech bot is of course pretty optional. Really you just have to spam the ability whenever it comes off cooldown. Honestly, it would probably be better if you wait a little bit, but I'm lazy so I use a tech bot. We're going to be then putting down a 002 Smart Spikes Factory on set target. Set it right here, and then as soon as possible, you're going to want to make it an upgraded 102. Make sure to be placing your spike factory before the round, and of course, to be as quickly as possible getting these upgrades. We're then going to be going for a 00 spike factory, who becomes a 002 right here. You can see we're going for a second 002, and this guy's going to be our Moab Shredder. Against Phayze, it's always good to start with the top path one because it's just better, and we're going to be targeting our 002 more towards Phayze in this direction. We're also retargeting the 102, so just be sure you're paying attention. Upgrade it to a 022 as soon as you have the money for it, and now pretty shortly, yep, here we go, we sell the top path one in exchange for the 032. You do that right at the beginning of Skull 5 or the end, just whenever you have like over, I think it's $900, then you press sell and then you buy the other dude. We're then getting a second spike factory and now going for an embrittlement. You want to get the embrittlement to a 420, otherwise bad things could happen to you, as the 420 is going to be able to take down all these balloons. We're also going to be building it up into a super brittle, so that's the other reason we're getting it. If you want to play things safer though, you can get down a 300 dart monkey in the top right hand corner where I get it later. You can do that early if you want. Once you've saved up about $16,000, you can sell your 3 spike factories in exchange for the super brittle. I had started doing it a little bit early, but it really doesn't matter, and then I really recommend you go for the Juggernaut. I just get it up to a 402, and as I said, you could get it slightly earlier, it wouldn't really make a difference. Now we're going to get up a 240 Dartling Gunner, as well as a 301 Alkabuff. You want to make sure that the Alchemist is not able to touch the balloons right now. We really just want to be buffing the Mad, so make sure it's not in range of the track and it's not in range of the Juggernaut. And as soon as you see you're at about $62,000, you can target the Dartling and then upgrade it to a Mad and use that Mad ability. Of course, this is going to absolutely destroy the boss, and you can see here that we actually upgrade our Alchemist to a 401. That way it will get a little bit more uptime and just be a little bit better. We're then going to get down a 402 automatic spike factory right here, and then get down a 040 heli in order to move around the super brittle, which is going to be very, very necessary. It'll also be moving around the spike factory later, and make sure that you are targeting the Mad. It's a lot of stuff to pay attention to, right? We're going to be moving the super brittle, and the way you want to move it is just put it right in front. You want its range to be in front of where the boss will be, right? So that way you can be getting all these lovely shards all over the boss, right? You want these shards to just be really touching that boss because, well, you paid for the super brittle. You should use that super brittle to its fullest extent. If this guide's helping you out so far, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and type in code YOBOI in the BTD6 store. That's code YOBOI. And just, yeah, keep on targeting your Mad, keep on moving around your super brittle. I was getting forgetful for a second. I was wondering, what is this tower called? Anyways, once you're at $100,000, you can sell your super brittle in exchange for the tier 5 top path spike factory. You can also sell your Juggernaut in order to get it a little bit earlier, and that is what I highly recommend. So you can see there we were at 102k, and so we sold the super brittle and bought a super mines. Both have super in the name, how funny. Now we're going to be meeting up a second 401 out buff, and this is just so that both the Mad and the super brittle are going to have pretty much 100% full uptime. It's pretty great. Make sure you're targeting the Mad still. I'm going to keep on saying that over and over and over again. And now we're just going to be getting down a 420 Monkey Sniper right here. You want it on top of this crate so that it can hit the boss, put it on strong targeting, and get it up to a cripple Moab. It's not really going to do too much damage, especially right now, but later on this guy becomes one of the most important towers on the screen, which is pretty cool. Just make sure, again, targeting the Mad, and now we're going to be placing down some Dart Monkeys. You want to upgrade them to tier 3s and tier 4s before you get the cross path. That way you get that little monkey knowledge discount. I'm sure, like, I mention this every single video, so I'm sure you guys remember it. And you also want to make sure that you're saving room for an embrittlement right here. Here we're going to get this guy up to a super brittle, and you want to leave room right there, where I just was hovering a Dart Monkey, where you can put down a spike factory. It's pretty much just where the alchemists are, but on the other side. Alright, I hope makes sense. And we're going to get a couple of these guys up to Super Monkey fan clubs. You can really get up 4 of them to Super Monkey fan clubs. I was just kind of being a little bit hesitant and extra cautious, but we have plenty of money, so you can get up to 4 of these guys to Super Monkey fan club for now, and really later you can get even more of them there, but we're going to be filling up the entire monkey limit. Maybe not the whole thing, but just as many as we can fit in here that seems pretty useful. I'm going to speed up the footage 2 times because this is freaking boring. I'm going to give you guys one final reminder to, while you are placing all these dart monkeys, to use your mad ability and keep on targeting your mad. I'm pretty good about it, and that's kind of what gives me a high score. But now we're going to be Chinooking over our super mines so that it is in the new position that we didn't fill with dart monkeys, and if you did, don't worry about it, just sell the dart monkeys there and place the super mines there. You can see we're using one last mad ability, and after that mad ability is up, we're going to be selling the mad, the alchemist buffing the mad, and then buying whatever super monkey we have that has the ability ready. We're going to be buying it up to a plasma monkey fan club, and then using that ability as well as buying the super brittle. Of course, with the cripple mob, the super brittle, and the plasma monkey fan club, we're going to be getting a ton of extra pops, which is very, very nice. We can also upgrade a bunch of these guys to super monkey fan clubs. You're going to want to have at least 4 of them up, but I end up getting 6 just because getting the timings perfectly is not always easy, and so I ended up just going for 6 to be extra safe. Pretty much, you use them whenever the Plasma Monkey Fan Club isn't ready. Now we're getting up to Crossbow Masters on this here crate. That way they'll be able to get some extra pops and hit the boss. If you're not fitting things perfectly, if you're significantly behind, blah blah blah, right? Everything isn't going to go perfect every single run. You're still going to be fine. You're still going to get degree 40 because look at here, right? Even when the boss is leaving the range of the dart monkeys, we're still popping the AI balloons. So if right now you're at 93 skulls, you're still like, the darts are getting a ton of pops, and so it's actually working out just as well. What I'm going to do here is move the spike factory down to right here, because that way we can get a couple of extra pops. But really, if you're at 98, 97, 99 pops, what you can do is what we're going to do at the end here, which is, you know, once we get the next helicopter ability, I'll be showing you. But once you're at like 97 plus pops, you can really do it earlier if needed, right? Once you're entering where the Apex Plasma Masters range would be, you really have to do it. But right now, we're just going to be selling everything. We moved our spike factory to the back to have some extra balls, and these balls are kind of for safety, right? Because if a DDT came by, we would want to have some super mines in the back, at least during the upgrade process, right? Otherwise, while you're upgrading it to a Apex Plasma Master, you can die. So that's why I move it to the end. It's just for safety, right? Want to make things more consistent. If you get a degree 40 plus, great job, you get 110 score. If you get a degree 20 plus, great job, you get about 107 plus score. Unfortunately, no matter what I do with this mat and stuff, you're not actually going to get any extra pops, so whatever. You don't have to do it, but if you want to, you can play some ad. Hope this guide helped you out. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, goodbye, and of course, after the outro, I always remember that I have a Discord channel. You guys should join it. It's in the description, and it is very useful if you want to find a team that can go to all 5 islands. It's going to be in there, and please, I'm telling you, if you want to start a team, or if you have a team that doesn't have many active people, join that Discord. Post your team in there. I promise you, a bunch of pros are going to join, alright? Maybe not pros, but they're people who watch these guides, and so they're going to get good scores, right? That's why I make the guides, so you guys can get good scores. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.